The Division has always been about testing the limits of agents, pushing us into tough fights, and forcing us to work together in ways few other games manage. Back in the Division 1, Incursions did exactly that. Falcon Lost, Clear Sky, Dragon's Nest, and Stolen Signal weren't just missions. They were some of the most intense, replayable pieces of endgame content Ubisoft ever dropped into the series. And honestly, The Division 2 could benefit greatly from bringing these classic incursions back into the fold. For anyone who didn't play the original game, these weren't just standard missions. Falcon Lost threw us into wave after wave of enemies before forcing us to destroy an APC in a high-stakes finale. Clear Sky dropped in with new mechanics and enemy challenges that felt like a real evolution of the gameplay at the time. Dragon's Nest put us up against the Cleaners and their deadly firebots, all while dodging a fire-shooting truck that demanded precise teamwork. And then there was Stolen Signal, which asked us to rescue hostages while dealing with Curveball in one of the franchise's most memorable encounters.
The super is another nice thing that we got here that they don't have.
These weren't just missions. They were tests of patience, coordination, and grit. Now imagine what would happen if Ubisoft carried these incursions over into the Division 2. Right away, they'd inject a serious dose of nostalgia into the game, giving veteran agents something familiar but fresh, and at the same time introducing newer players to the content that defined endgame activity in the first title.
Over there, man. Under the thing right there. You heard that, Johnny? Chuck?
With only one incursion currently in the Division 2, and with many players rarely touching it, adding these four would immediately expand mission variety, fast travel points, and overall reasons to stay engaged in the endgame. There's also the challenge factor. The original incursions were notorious for being punishing, especially since they didn't have checkpoints at higher difficulties. Wipe your team, and you were starting all over again. While the Division 2's legendary missions already deliver that same high-stakes, full-wipe punishment, incursions would add something different: unique mechanics, environmental hazards, and objective-driven challenges that demand more than just clearing waves of enemies. Combined with Division 2's gear, skill systems, and improved graphics, these missions could feel both familiar and completely fresh at the same time. Another thing worth noting is the Division Survivors mode that's expected to arrive in the future. While that will definitely add more content and nostalgia, not every agent is looking forward to a survival-style mode. For those players, incursions could fill the gap, offering a tough but structured challenge that doesn't rely on the survival experience, but still scratches that itch for something meaningful in the endgame. From a development standpoint, it's not impossible either. The Division 1 and 2 were built for the same generation of consoles, which means porting these missions over, while not simple, wouldn't be as demanding as creating entirely new raids or seasons from scratch. If Ubisoft polished them with Division 2's visuals and balanced them around current builds, they'd feel like natural additions rather than recycled content. Of course, there are challenges. Porting them from TD1's engine to TD2's Snowdrop setup would take work. Balancing would need careful tuning, especially since missions like Falcon Lost were infamous at launch for being frustrating rather than fun. And let's not ignore the question of resources. Would Ubisoft prioritize this over making new content? That's the gamble. But with the Division 2 entering its later years, and the Division 3 still a long way off, nostalgia-driven updates like this could bridge the gap and keep the community invested. At the end of the day, incursions represent a piece of the Division's identity that hasn't been fully carried forward. They offered unique mechanics, high replayability, and a challenge that raids don't quite replicate. Bringing them into the Division 2 would give veterans a reason to return and new players a taste of what made the first game so special. It's the kind of win-win content that could revive excitement around the franchise while honoring its roots. So what do you think? Should Ubisoft bring back Falcon Lost, Clear Sky, Dragon's Nest, and Stolen Signal to The Division 2? Would you run these missions again with your current builds? Or do you think it's better for the studio to focus on brand new content instead? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to ManaWar Gaming for more Division coverage and updates.